Hey, in this video, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Airbnb that I've been staying at in Johannesburg. It's been a great value. It's only $650 a month, and they have some units that are as cheap as $550. So I'm going to walk through kind of all the amenities they have. I'm going to do a tour of the room, and then I'm going to drive around the neighborhood and show you what this neighborhood is like, and then I'm going to talk about what it's like for me living here, coming from America, and just kind of my thoughts on South Africa and living here in Johannesburg. So right now I'm driving up to the front entrance of the building. This building is huge. It's split between apartments and a kind of Airbnb slash hotel, and it's very secure. This is the front gate. There's two entrances, one for visitors, one for residents. You would go to the visitor side and meet with security your first time in, but I have a key card. So I'm just gonna go in. The security guards are super friendly and helpful. I've never had any issues, and I've always felt safe staying here. Never seen any shady characters. There's also a parking garage downstairs that you can use for free. I'm just gonna park here for a second just so I can kind of show off the front of the building. And this area is where the delivery drivers will come and drop off orders. There's quite a bit of options. There's Uber Eats and Mr. D for food deliveries, and it's pretty cheap. I can usually get dinner for one delivered for about 10 or 15 bucks, including tip. And they also have apps so you can get groceries delivered, and that's Woolworths, Food Lovers, Checkers, Pick and Pay. And they also have something called Take a Lot, which is similar to Amazon. They have a lot of products you can get delivered, and it's pretty quick shipping. This is the reception area. You can get packages delivered here, and they'll hold them for you. That's really convenient when traveling. It can be hard to get things delivered sometimes, so it's nice to have. This is the common area of the building. This is where all kind of the amenities are located. It's always very clean here. Okay, now I'm heading up towards the gym. I'm going to do a quick tour and just show you the gym they have here. It's a pretty nice gym for being in an Airbnb. They have a lot of different machines, cable pulls, treadmill, free weights, heavy bag, squat rack, rowing machine, kettlebells, a nice little outdoor area. So definitely well-equipped gym for being so convenient. Can get a little busy in the evenings, but it's not too bad. You just got to be careful that you're not on the treadmills when the power goes out, because they do stop abruptly. Don't ask me how I know that. Now I'm heading out of the gym and going towards kind of a common hangout lounge area and a game room. This is pretty nice. I think they have like trivia here sometimes. A little bit more people hang out here during the evening. Most people that live here are young adults, so if, like no kids or no animals here, I think. So it's just something to note. This is a nice little restaurant. They have a lot of convenient items. They serve breakfast, and sandwiches for lunch, coffee, espresso, stuff like that, and have a lot of little like staples you can buy, like pasta, condiments, eggs. So that's super convenient. I'd love going there and getting coffee. And it cost me a little under $6 for breakfast, which included coffee, bacon and eggs, and bottled green juice. Now I'm just going to speed this up a little bit and walk through another outdoor seating area and a little indoor theater. But I'm heading up to the next floor, which is kind of the work from home business area. These are Zoom pods. And then this is a nice little like quiet work area with a beautiful place to work from, I think. These huge windows, a nice view, all that sunlight. I've certainly never had an office that looked this nice. And it's actually not too busy for the middle of the day during a weekday. There's some more meeting rooms. These are actually usually taken up though, those meeting rooms, and then these Zoom pods are usually full, unfortunately. And now I'm speeding this up, walking through this building. This building is huge. There's a lot of rooms here. These are actually mostly apartments, and then the hotels on the other side. And I think there's only like 20 hotel rooms, and those go out on Airbnb as well. This is just a nice little sitting area. And now I'm heading out towards the roof deck. I think they have 3 separate roof decks, which is crazy. Nice seating area. Just a cool place to hang out. They have built-in areas to barbecue on. They call it braaiing here in South Africa. And so if you ever get invited to a braai, definitely go. It's just like a barbecue. It's super fun. The only difference is they have different cuts of meat that they use, which is kind of interesting. They're super good though. Different like types of sausages, but it's pretty similar to a barbecue. So just showing off this nice view. And then I'm going to show the barbecue area, and then I'm going to speed it up and walk over to the hotel side and then show my room. Okay, now I'm walking into my room here. Now this is a 1 bedroom superior, and this cost me $650 US for 1 month. They do have cheaper rooms. They have the studio, which is not too much smaller, and it's only $550 US per month, which is an amazing deal compared to how much this would cost in the US. And for this price, everything is included: furniture, internet, parking, all the amenities, the gym, fiber internet, electricity. They do have unfurnished leases in the building on the other side, and those are only about $370 US per month for a 1 bedroom. They also bring fresh linens once a week, and they'll change your bed sheets and change out all your linens for you once a week. And a smart TV with Netflix, and then basic appliances: fridge, stove, oven, washer, dryer. It's worked pretty good. The dryer didn't work so well. The internet is okay. Their Wi-Fi, I was getting about 9 megabits per second, and there's a nice little outdoor area. It's not too loud. There's some noise, but it's not too bad. And then just a basic bathroom. The light doesn't do that. That's just on the video. And then good hot water, good water pressure. Nice finishes, I think. And it was very clean when I got here. So I like this place. I can't complain. Also, I did get backup 4G service from MTN, and that gets about 18 gigabits per second. So that's pretty quick, just in case of an emergency. Okay, now we're out by the pool area. And this is super nice. They keep this area really clean and well maintained. Nice seating area, nice little serving area. Definitely a nice place to come hang out. It gets pretty busy here on nights and the weekends. A lot of people come out here and hang out. Now I'm just taking a little walk around the pool. The weather here in Johannesburg is so nice. There's a lot of sunny days, and the temperature is usually, in the 70s. It can get up to the 80s, in the summer when it's hot, and down mid 60s in the winter, but usually all year it's pretty nice and in the 70s. Usually pretty sunny, some cloudy days, some rainy days, but for the most part, the weather here is amazing. I love it. And it kind of has like an island feel to it. Like the vibe is just super chill and laid back. All the people here are pretty easygoing and friendly. And the weather's always nice, so it kind of gives off that vibe. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a bit and walk past the front of the building. There's extra parking out here for visitors, and the front fountain. Now I'm going to drive past the laundry room. It's this doorway right here with a sign above it, and you can take your laundry in there. And it cost me about $6 for a bag of laundry, washed and dried, and then I usually just pick it up the next day. This is the parking garage. It's included with your stay. I've had my bikes down here, and I've never had any trouble, so it seems very secure. Now I'm going to drive around the neighborhood a bit and show what the Sunninghill neighborhood is like, and I'm going to talk about what it's my thoughts kind of on Johannesburg and South Africa in general, coming from the U.S. Some of the differences between living here and living in North America, the U.S. So the first thing, I'm from Ohio, so the first thing for me is the weather is absolutely amazing here. I could definitely live here. It's usually 70s all year long, and it's usually sunny. There's some rainy days here and there, but for the most part, the weather is just amazing. It feels like almost like Southern California. I actually think that people here are a lot happier just because the weather is so nice. The second thing that's nice about living here is the modern conveniences, which I'm not from here, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But there is here in Santon, which is the nicer neighborhood, uh, all the shops and the gas stations and the restaurants, they're all tap to pay. So just bring your card with you, and it's just tap to pay. It's super easy. It converts the currency automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's also like 4G coverage pretty much everywhere in the city, so you don't have to worry about that. I have T-Mobile, which automatically gives you service here, but they also have different phone services here, Vodacom and MTN, and they have great service here in the city. It's actually pretty cheap if you buy like the pay-as-you-go service. And the Airbnb I'm staying at has fiber internet, so the internet here is very fast. Uber is really easy to get. There's lots of Uber drivers, lots of Uber Eats drivers, lots of restaurants, lots of shops. So yeah, the modern conveniences you really don't have to worry about because there's a lot of options here. So I never felt like I was kind of like going back in time technology wise. They don't have, I don't think they have Amazon, but they have something here called Take a Lot, which is similar to Amazon. Just go to their website and they deliver. I think it's like 2-day delivery with a lot of items. I've used that a couple times and it's been super easy to use. Another big positive is the exchange rate, kind of the cost of living here. So the place that I showed you is $650 a month, and that's everything included. I can't imagine how much that would cost, somewhere in the U.S. or Manhattan. It'd probably be, add some zeros onto the end of that, but that would be so expensive. I'll show how much some of the common items cost. I'll throw that on screen right now. Another cost is Uber Eats. You usually get a pretty good dinner for one delivered for about 10 or 15 bucks, and that's with tip included. A 10-minute Uber ride is about $5. Get a massage for about 30 bucks. Here I'm going to get some free-range lamb chops, which I don't think I've ever bought in the U.S. I don't know if they sell them. But here I can get them for about $6 a pound. So the package I buy in here is about $6. And this is this grocery store is called Woolworths. It's kind of like Whole Foods, but just like marketed differently. But I think their foods, they have a lot of like good quality food and organic. It's a bit smaller than kind of grocery store in the U.S. Another thing is the people here. Another point is the people here. They're super friendly. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but the people here I think they're just happier in general, but they've been super friendly. They smile a lot. Definitely made my trip, worth it. And it's very diverse here too. There's lots of different ethnicities. And another point that I wanted to make was that it's close to like national parks and game drives, safaris, and it's just a nice place to kind of make a transition into, if you wanted to visit more places in Africa or kind of experience the culture, there's there's definitely some culture shock, but they still have a lot of the modern conveniences, so you don't have to worry about too much, your first time coming to Africa. So, you can see this grocery store, it's, well stocked, and I'm getting lamb chops. That's, not too crazy expensive. So, yeah, my favorite thing about it is just it's a nice place to, start when coming to Africa. From Johannesburg, you can make, a lot of day trips out and do they call them game drives, but it's kind of like a mini safari into kind of like enclosed areas where they have, all the lions and animals like that. And then, from here, you could take trips into different countries in Africa, like Botswana and Namibia. The landscapes and the diversity of like animals and plants is just there's just nowhere else like it in the world here. In South Africa and then in Botswana and Namibia, it's definitely I would highly recommend coming here and visiting, and especially if you like nature. Okay, now I'm going to touch on the kind of negatives of living here, or the things I wasn't used to. The first is they have scheduled blackouts. It's called load shedding here. And basically the power will go out on a schedule for usually 2 hours at a time. But it sounds like it's kind of a pain here. I'm not too much into the politics, but you really don't have to worry about it. If you're staying at kind of like a nice place or just visiting, most hotels and the place that I showed here have backup generators that come on automatically. So the power will just flick on for a second, flick off for a second. So it's wasn't too much of an issue for me, and all the businesses have backup generators too. So it's not something you have to worry about. I would just check to see where you're staying if they have generators, if it could be an issue for you. Thing is crime. Crime is higher here, but I've never really felt unsafe. Everywhere that I've been has very good security, but you just have to kind of be on guard a little bit more when you go out. The worst thing I've seen is someone grabs someone's cell phone and took off running. I'm not too worried about it here. There's a lot of security. The thing is the disparity. So it's quite eye-opening compared to the U.S. Everyone kind of has this the same, but here there'll be neighborhoods of giant mansions, and then a 1 minute, 2 minute drive down the street, there's a whole neighborhood of really poor quality shacks, and it's just something you kind of have to get used to. It's if you're from the U.S., it's a lot different, and then I wasn't really sure what to think about it at first, but yeah, it's just kind of is what it is. I was kind of worried about getting harassed a lot for money, being as that I'm from a different country and I might stick out, but it's not really too bad. Yeah, I've been asked for money a few times, but it's not anything that really ruined my stay, or nobody was very aggressive, in asking for money. I think people here are very respectful and polite and friendly. So that's something I worried about, but that's something that you should not worry about. So now I'm just driving back to my Airbnb, and this is the Sunninghill neighborhood of Johannesburg. If you stay anywhere around Sandton, it's usually pretty nice. It's like the nicer part of town. But in the end, I would say I would definitely recommend visiting Johannesburg. It's a very interesting culture. It's nice to speak the same language, but definitely have a different culture and be able to learn about how they do things. So I'm grateful for my chance to visit here, and I would definitely recommend it. Thank you for watching. This was actually my first YouTube video. If you enjoyed it, please like and share, subscribe, and yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.